Pogradec, Albania is a beautiful place to live year-round. Well, it's beautiful for most of the year. Pogradec is Albania's 14th largest city, with a metro population around 21,000 and a total population of about 46,000 if you include the surrounding villages like the one I live in. It is situated on Lake Ohrid, Europe's oldest lake and one of its deepest at 288 meters or 945 feet. This large body of water, the surrounding mountains and elevation have a strong effect on the climate here, creating a microclimate around the lake. This massive body of water acts as a buffer for temperature and humidity in the area, creating a regulating effect that helps to keep things milder and less dry than other areas in the Balkan region. So summers aren't quite as hot and dry, and winters aren't quite as cold as in other places with a similar elevation. However, the area is famous for the strong winds that come off the lake, providing a damp winter chill. The lake is at a high elevation of 735 meters, or a little over 2,400 feet above sea level. Therefore, it does get some real winter weather that usually isn't associated with the typically pleasant Mediterranean climate that we are used to here. This was one of those weeks when we got hit with quite the snowstorm, combined with the strong winds off the lake and a cold, moist air that you could feel in your bones. I don't know how many inches or centimeters we got, but I'm certainly glad that I had boots to wear. Despite being a little unusual, the driving didn't seem any worse than it normally is, although that's another story. I remember getting snow during the time I lived in Florida, and I've never seen so many cars off the road and in the ditch. Perhaps surprisingly, I didn't see any of that here. Maybe because people here are used to driving up into the mountains where the snow is a bit more prevalent. This lucky guy found himself a nice horse jawbone to chew on. While having a car can be really nice, when I'm in town I find that it's actually probably faster to walk, especially when the conditions are like this. Even with the weather being like this, everything keeps moving and town is active as people go about their daily routines, despite the wind and the wet snow. And as usual, I am perpetually tempted by the things I see and smell. Oh my god, if you could only smell this rotisserie. Oh, it's so good. Today, the waterfront amphitheater is empty, but it won't be long before spring comes and it is filled with people being entertained by music, dance, and theatrics. Even the seagulls seem to find a way to enjoy themselves in this harsh winter weather, as they danced in the wind and avoided the spray of the crashing waves against the seawall. And crash they did, as the lake was clearly angry and churning. Not even the commercial fishermen took their boats out to catch lucrative trout today. The boats all just sat on the beach being chilled, just like the rest of us. Snow and freezing weather can be a logistical pain, but a little snow is always pretty and the soft white blankets create their own atmosphere that any winter lover would enjoy. It won't be here long and the sun will be shining again soon, but it sure is nice to enjoy the change in the temporary white facade on everything. It's a surprisingly pleasant change of pace, so it's important to enjoy it while it lasts, even if it creates a little bit of inconvenience for a short time. Here, just outside of town, the snow has created a charming atmosphere in the village Gasteñas, where I live. Before moving here, I didn't expect to ever feel like I was back in Maine, where I moved here from, but this certainly feels familiar. Except perhaps the mosque, and its 5 times a day call to prayer that I have come to enjoy. Not unlike church bells, it's a pleasant reminder of what time of day it is, no matter what your faith. I am thoroughly enjoying my time here, and the 4 seasons that have been granted to me in southeastern Albania. It is a wonderful and inspiring place to live, or spend time, no matter what time of year it is. And after just a couple of days of true winter, the sun has come back out, the temperature is back on the rise, and everything has begun to melt. The birds are back to just hanging out, and the children are making the best of what's left of the snow. Your viewership means a lot to me, and I would love for you to subscribe and hit the like button. It is very encouraging and it is greatly appreciated. I know that this isn't the typical format for my videos that are usually based on historical sites, ruins, and interesting natural places. But I have decided that I'm going to mix some like this in as I begin living here in Albania and sharing my experiences. Don't worry though, my next offering will be about a small late Roman or Byzantine church in the nearby city of Korça, with an interesting history and some truly brilliant frescoes. If you made it all the way to the end, thank you for watching and come back to the channel soon for more. Mira Pavsham.